everybody, it's Gail from Gail's Bookish Things. I'm going to share with you today some thoughts about two new recent ink samples that I've been trying. The first one is Robert Oster Melon Tea, and the second is Noodler's L. Lawrence. Both of these inks have similar tones, I guess you would say. The top one is the Robert Oster Melon Tea. I saw that on Van Ness pens, and the way they had it swatched, I was really kind of drawn to that sort of murky green. So here I just wrote a little summary, and then I will go back and explain that to you. And then here is the Noodler's L. Lawrence. And again, it had a very similar type look to me, but side by side and in writing with them, they are slightly different. I just a little while ago just sort of wrote kind of a summary. I swatched it here with a Q-tip so I could see the two inks side by side, but I have been writing with them both. So here I'm using my TWSBI 1.1 stub nib. Again, you know, that gives a sharper, more angular kind of look to my writing. This ink comes out very wet, and it'll kind of have those little sections where it pools, and then you get that nice shading. But I wouldn't call it like a gushy pen or a real juicy writing experience. It's very pleasant, though. And I would call this color sort of mossy or a murky green. It seems calm to me. It kind of resonates with me. It's a color that is my kind of color, you know, so it's just something that I'm naturally drawn to. And the same with this L. Lawrence. It is a little bit deeper looking, though, as you can see in person or through the camera. To me, in person, it's really obvious that this is a bit darker. It almost seems like this has more yellow to it, and maybe this would be more like even a blackish undertone. Some of the reviews called it a black green. Both of these write very smoothly. This is on Cosmo Air light paper. This ink also, in reading the reviews, I think it's like water resistant. I wrote waterproof here, but I think it's more just water resistant. Let me show you some writing with these inks. This is sort of a little scripture journal. So sometimes I write down quotes, sometimes I write down Bible verses that I've recently read and liked. Here again, this is the TWSBI 1.1 in cursive here, and you can see just how bold or how dark that ink first lays down. And really, if you can tell, I hope that you can, but there's just a lot of great shading, a lot of darker and lighter spots. That's the first element that drew me to fountain pen inks, was the shading. The sheen is beautiful, the shimmer is beautiful, but I really liked the shading element. And I felt like I got that a lot here. This is the Noodler's with the Leonardo. I don't know if I specified that my other pen was the Leonardo broad nib. And I was printing here, so you're going to get a different effect. But again, there is some good shading, and I really like that. So when I write with this long-term, a longer writing session, as we call it, I found it to be a little bit less of a pleasant experience. This is the Sanzen Tomoe River paper, the successor paper to the original Tomoe, and it's been pretty good. The writing was awesome, and then the more I wrote, the writing just got less flowy, less gushy, and drier. And whereas this was a nice, thick, bold line, it just started to become kind of scratchy and much thinner. I have had this problem before with other inks and pen combinations, and my only thought is that, oh, it was this one, that if you're writing a lot, that maybe sometimes the ink just doesn't, the combination can't keep up. You're running out of ink in the feed and nib much more quickly than if you're just writing a few things down. That's the only thing I can think of. I'm not a pen expert. I've only been at this for maybe a couple years. But that is what people have said. I've mentioned that before. If you have any other thoughts, please feel free to comment below. And if you have used either of these inks, let's go back to the original swatching here. If you have used either one of these, please let me know what your experience is with them and what pens you like to use them with. So open to suggestions and comments. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye.